Hey, y'all, you're listening to the Chicken Fried Women podcast with me, your host, Melissa Radke, the original recipe. Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to the Chicken Fried Women podcast, friendship, kinship, and the stories that made us this way. In other words, where the South meets the mouth. Okay. I came up with that myself. I'm so glad that you're here today to hear what stories we talk about. But I did want to tell you, I'm so sorry that you're not going to hear Dr. Derek Shepard Radke running around the studio today on his squeaky toys. My little co-host is not here. He's at the pet beauty shop, y'all. Okay. My little lover boy is getting groomed today. So he's not going to be here to run around and whine and beg for attention. But don't worry, I'm here and I do those things on the reg. Okay. Hey, we have got a great guest today. I say that. Let's see how this goes because I don't know what she's going to pull out of her hat to talk about with me, but I'm very excited for you to meet one of the classic, the OG of my Chicken Fried Women. I know you've met a couple of them already, but this Meredith is my cousin, my sister, all of the things. We've been very, very close for a very, very long time. And that is terrifying when it comes to what she's going to talk about today. So everybody say hi to Mare and let's get started.
Hey guys.
Well,
I'm the one with all the dirt.
Exactly. The tea. It's called the tea.
Let's spill.
You did bring a telephone with a list of stories. It's because it's as if you can't remember our childhood.
Oh, I remember it all too well. I just like to be prepared.
I know, but she says to me, is it okay that I brought a list of stories? And I'm like, oh, sure. Show me what it is. And there's 400 things written down.
There aren't.
And here's the deal. Like if you and I we're eating at like Outback Steakhouse and it's me and you and like 4 other girls that are friends of ours.
Right.
You wouldn't have to have a phone to bring it out of your memory.
No, I just like to be prepared.
Okay. So when you think about us, what makes us stories that I don't know that I want her to be on here. Let me pray about it real quick.
Nope.
When you think about story, when I called and asked you to be on the program and the episode and talk about some stories that make us who we are, what is one that comes to your mind?
Well, we are exact opposites in every way.
Every way
Possible. And
she's a brunette and I am blonde. She is not a lot of fun.
That's okay. This is my entire life right here. If I could sum it all up into one little moment, it would be this.
I'm sorry that you can't Wayne Brady this moment like I can, Mara.
I'm the butt of her every joke and will for always be.
Can I tell you a memory that I have?
Oh, please, because this is all about you.
No, it isn't. It was when I did get my own television show.
Way to toot your own horn.
And I went to Meredith and I was like, Meredith, this is what's happened. The production company has come to me and they want to film not just me, though, my big Southern family. And Meredith went just like this. And I don't normally talk this way, nor does she, but this is what she said in that moment. Every one of them shows have a bitch. It's going to be me. And that is Meredith. And I was like, absolutely not. They can't portray you as that if you don't act like that. And you never did. I don't even know why that was a worry for you, but I know you're going to pull out some dirt today.
I'd forgotten that.
So go for it. We are different in every way.
We are.
I'm loud. You're not. I have to go in a week or so and record the audiobook for Chicken Fried Women. And one of the things that I've decided to do is to give really a character voice for all of the women in the family. Because there is a certain way that my mother talks to me. But there's also a way my Aunt Melba talks. But there's also a way you talk.
Which is what?
Well, your husband said it best. Talk like a school teacher.
I was at one point. So,
she was.
Yeah. Yeah, you and I are opposites in every way, but I think we also bring out the best and the worst of each other, which has been a good thing and a really bad thing at times.
Who knew you could have such a blessing and a toxicity all at the same time?
Yeah. But I will say we're our mothers, but like 2.0.
Made over.
Yeah. Exact opposites, but we complement each other. And then there are these weird moments where it's just like everything's going to blow up. Mm-hmm. I think of a really good explanation of that is vacations together, because we look forward to them so much and we have an absolute blast, but there is one blow up on every trip we've ever been on.
You know what I have decided, Meredith? I'm not going to let it get to that next time.
Oh.
I'm not. I'm going to stop it before it happens.
You know, there's not been a next time for quite a while. Like we haven't
been on vacation in a couple of years.
Because my husband said, I can't do it. I can't do it.
You know what? I knew he didn't like me. Why didn't he like me?
No, he doesn't like us.
Is that what he said?
Together.
That is funny. Okay. There is usually a blow up, but here's the thing. I don't know that that's not typical for families. To be perfectly honest, I think normally when we go on vacations, you have to tell the people. Now, they're about 7 days long.
Yeah. And there's about 25 of us.
And one
house.
One blow up in 7 days, I think is actually atypical. I think people would be like, y'all, we fight from the time we get there to the time we leave. So I think you and I are doing pretty dang good.
Yeah. I mean, but I think we grew up like sisters. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's just normal for sisters. I think everybody would say that.
Right.
But you wouldn't want to go with anybody else.
I know.
So still would pick the family at the end of the day. But
talking about growing up as sisters, when I got married to David, I moved off to Dallas, and you and your brother. So I was an only child growing up, but she had a brother who we affectionately refer to as Bubba. Mm-hmm. And you and Bub came and visited me in Dallas. And you were saying before we started, I'm going to talk about that. Why do you remember that visit? I don't know what it is about that visit.
Well, I think there were a lot of firsts that happened with us, like that was our first trip out of town, just me and Brandon without our parents. And we were with our cool cousin, Melissa.
And I had just gotten married.
Older cousin. She's much older than me, but she had just gotten married. We're driving down the road. She had taken us for McDonald's. We still thought that was cool.
I was living in an apartment, which we thought was super cool.
We thought so cool. And we're driving down the road. We had just finished our food and everything. And
Meredith, do not tell this story.
Playing music really loud and driving.
Look at my face. Do not tell this story. Meredith,
the people want to know. You said spill the tea. That's what I'm here for. We're in the car. We finished our McDonald's. She opens the sunroof, takes the entire McDonald's and just chunks it out the top of the roof. Now, she's grown up since then a little.
You guys, I was 21 idiotic years old.
She was.
But I did that. I don't know why. Because y'all, I thought that was cool. I wanted to be cool. And I wanted to show them I was cool and I was reckless and I was above the law. I know that littering is against the law, and littering is not cool, kids. It's not. I can't believe you told that. But I felt this need to impress back then. I like to think that there are other stories you have.
Oh, we were totally impressed. I mean, it was one of those moments where our eyes were like, but we thought, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like our parents would never. But there are so many moments, and they're funny, but there are so many moments where, like, you were in your first apartment. I got to see you do it first. Uh-huh. And later, when I had all of those firsts for myself, I learned from it. Another one that was a really funny first that I got to experience with you before you got married was you bringing home your first boyfriend, who actually ended up being your husband.
First and only boyfriend.
Yeah. On the first trip home to meet all of the family, she reaches up to get something off the middle of the table and farts really loud. And he's still stuck around.
Okay,
but I learned how not to do that.
You learned how not to pass the eggs. I'll reach to the middle of the table to get him some eggs. And first of all, fart is a strong word. I tooted and I didn't mean to. I was mortified. Hey, did you know that the Chicken Fried Women podcast is being brought to you by my new book, Chicken Fried Women, coming out April 22nd? I have a question for you. Have you pre-ordered it yet? Go to Amazon.com or wherever you buy books and order one for you and your bestie and your mom and your college roommate. You get what I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. That reminds me, yesterday I went to lunch with my mom and your mom.
They didn't invite me.
It's because something just flew out of my nose.
Wonder why.
Because you work for a living and nobody really knows what.
And none of you do.
Nobody knows what the three of us do. Anyway, we were at lunch and it reminds me of the trash, throwing the stupid litter out of the car. I'd said something at the table. I am 50 years old, Meredith. And my mother looked at me and she went just like this. She went, "Why do you always think that the shock effect is the best way to have a conversation?" And I said, "What?" And she goes, "The shock effect, Melissa. You always love the shock effect. And you think that that's going to gain you points, and it's not. It's not going to gain you points, and you need to realize that. I'm 50. I've quit trying to impress people. There is no shock effect. I just said something that my mother was like flabbergasted and clutching her pearls. But that was a total shock effect moment in the car when I threw out that trash. I would just like to say it for the record. Then when I tooted at the table, I was shocked.
There was still an effect.
There was.
It was just a little bit of a different kind.
But he stuck around.
And I think younger, you did live off of the shock effect.
Yeah.
I didn't think you've gotten out of that a lot. But, there are things like I was telling that about your first boyfriend. And then when I had my first boyfriend.
And you kissed him in Granny's yard?
No, y'all swear that I kissed him.
Granny saw it, Meredith. Granny saw it with her own eyes. And she had 4 of them because she wore glasses.
It wasn't true. That I did not kiss him.
You did kiss
him.
I
ducked when he tried to kiss me because it freaked me out. And it's a
him.
really good thing that I didn't kiss him.
And he decided to play for the other team after that.
That's why I'm saying it's good I didn't give him my first kiss.
Okay.
But
you did kiss him and he decided to join the show choir and he played for the other team for the rest of his life.
Let's get back to the point. Okay. And I'm not the only one that dated somebody from the other team. So let's not even go there. I had a sweet story that when I got my first boyfriend and had my first real kiss, I called you, woke you up. You were in bed. Y'all had already gone to sleep, woke you up to tell you about my first kiss because I was so excited because you had all of those first and I wanted to share those with you because I got to experience them along the way with you. And we've always had that kind of feed off of each other relationship.
Yeah. I don't remember that at all.
You don't?
Not
it was
at
such a memory for me.
Did I live in Nashville or Dallas?
You lived in Nashville.
Okay. And
I'm pretty positive you lived in Nashville.
Who was it?
No.
Oh, tell me the name.
No.
Okay, whisper in my ear. Just whisper in my ear. Oh, Jermaine. Okay.
You were an ass. Can I? Dang it.
He'll put the little thing over there.
If you can cut out a cough, cut out that.
You called me and told me that. Was I sweet and tender?
You were.
Was I really?
You were.
I bet. Did it? Was it a deep kiss?
Oh, it was a kiss.
Oh,
it was a real kiss.
That's sweet.
It was
that you
exciting.
Called me.
It's not sweet that you don't remember.
I don't. Well, what do you expect when you wake me up like that, Meredith? Lord.
I'm glad to know you were always there for me.
I was reminded the other day of a story that I wanted to bring up today, but I can't tell it the way that you tell it. It's about the time your mom went to the school with you.
Oh, Lord.
And I can't tell it the way you tell it because you've told it in our family for years. We still rag on your mom about it so hard. So you got to tell this time that she went to the school and she failed.
So... like she said, there are stories we pass down. I'm not sure if they're to learn from, but my mother came up to the school she came into the school with me when she was dropping me off to bring the class Christmas tree, like one of those little Charlie Brown or Snoopy Christmas trees, whatever, bringing it in. And we're going through the breezeway at the school and they had a wheelchair ramp. She was holding this clunky tree and she was in a hurry because she was trying to get to work. And she didn't see the ramp, nor did I mention, hey, there's a ramp in front of you. She walked straight into it, tripped and fell, and it moved the ramp away from the sidewalk. And she fell right on the edge and busted her knee open and blood is everywhere. And what do I do but turn around and see that our principal for the elementary school is coming out the door. And all I can think is, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed of her right now. So I turn to her and say, Mom, get up. The principal's coming.
Okay.
She's got blood going everywhere.
Okay, first of all, and our women don't fall gracefully.
No.
If you've ever seen a lead balloon, then you have officially seen Annette or Melba fall to the ground.
Yeah.
I've seen my mother fall over a curb and break off 10 artificial nails at one time. They don't fall gracefully. They fall slowly. They fall harshly, and they usually fall with some kind of guttural sound.
Yes.
So take us there and do what you do when she fell.
Well, our moms have short legs. And so it's like when they fall.
My mom's built exactly like Elton John.
It's like
exactly like Elton John.
It's like when they fall, they're top heavy. So then they just sort of roll a little.
Because they're built like circles.
But then there was blood. I mean, she's super dramatic. And of course, I'm being dramatic because I'm embarrassed and I don't want the principal to see. And God forbid my class to know that my mother just busted it coming into the school. And nobody else saw it. It was just the principal. But I was horrified and screaming, get up, the principal's coming, get up. She's never let me forget it. She blames me all the time for,
But in fairness, she laid there for a long time.
Yeah.
She laid, Meredith.
She milks it.
She milks it. Meredith's like, I missed half of my class.
Yeah.
I missed half of that class period.
There are so many elements of my mom's that we can point back to of like things that were going on at I had my accident or I had my.
Oh, here's one of my favorites. Y'all don't even remember that was my season of plantar fasciitis.
Yeah.
We have a aunt. It's not in our family anymore. May she rest in peace, Aunt Faye. But we've started to call my mother Aunt Faye because whenever you get to my mom's house, I'll be like, hey, what are you doing? Melissa, I'm going to tell you what, the rain is coming in and it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
I feel it in my bones.
I feel it in my bones. But your mom, especially with her dadgum.
With what?
With her dadgum knees.
Oh, yeah.
She has had both knees replaced. And Meredith will say to her, I will hear Meredith say, get up and walk out to the car and get that. You've got pig knees now. You've got pig knees. You've got fake knees. You can do it.
Pig knees. I do. She's had all of the things replaced now. So we're hoping everything's functioning well, but it might have resulted back from that fall with the Christmas tree.
You ever think that we're talking about them and we're just biding our time until one day Remy has a podcast and she invites Jillian on and they both just sit here and talk about us?
I have no doubt. It'll be karma.
It will be karma or God, one of the two. Thank you for being here. I love you. We'll do another episode because you got 85 things left to talk about.
They were all about you and you kept changing the subject.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Conveniently.
I like to deflect from attention on me, Meredith.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Love y'all. Thank you for being here on Chicken Fried Women. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for being here today, where we get to talk about our friendships and our kinships and the stories that made us this way. Till next time.